One advantage that Blackboard offers around testing is that once you've created a test, you can move that test between different courses. That could be between different sections of the same course in a given semester, or it could be taking it from a current version of the course and using it in future versions. To move tests around your Blackboard, you are first going to go to your course management panel and then to test surveys and pools. If you click on that, you can go in and access any tests that you've already built into your Blackboard. To get the test out of your Blackboard in the first place, you're going to go next to the test name where you'll see this little arrow in a circle icon. If you click on that, that will give you the option to export your test. So click on that, and depending on what browser you're using, that file might download automatically, or Blackboard might ask you if you want to open the file or save the file. The default will usually be to open it, but in the case of exports from Blackboard, you always want to go with the save file option. The reason for this is that the file that Blackboard is making is a zip file, which has a lot of information in addition to the test material in it. So in order to keep all of that together in a format that Blackboard can understand, you want to make sure that the file doesn't get unpacked or opened. So in this case, I'm going to go with save file, and I'm just going to click on OK, and that's going to download to my downloads folder. So now I have a copy of that test sitting on my computer. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go into the course that I want to move my test to. So I'm going to jump around to a different class. And I'm actually going to go to the same place in this class. So I'm going to come down to my course management panel. I'm going to go back to course tools, back into test surveys and pools, and then back into tests again. So if I click on test, you can see that I've got an option here called import test. And all I have to do is click on that, tell Blackboard that I want to browse my computer. I can see that in my downloads folder, I've got this test export file right here. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to click on open. And then once it's attached, I'm going to click on submit. And then if I head over to page 2 of my tests, you can see here that my sample test has been added into that new course. This functionality works with tests that you've already set up in your Blackboard courses so that you can move them around fairly easily. It will also work if you need to share tests between instructors. So once you've made that export file, you can give that to any other instructor who needs that test, or you can take export files from other instructors who have generated the tests and want to share them with you. This is also the same approach that you can use with a number of different publisher resources. So if you're working with, say, publisher test banks, you can import them into your Blackboard in the same way, provided they're in a Blackboard readable format. This is a fairly easy way to get things into your course. One thing to note about that is that sometimes publishers put their test banks as tests, and sometimes they designate them as pools. When you're putting those things into Blackboard, though, it doesn't matter if you do it in tests or in pools. Blackboard will sort out where those files need to go. So if you do upload something into tests and it doesn't wind up showing up, you might need to check into pools, and it will actually be sitting there instead.